This class is focused very much on hip, hamstring and quad mobility. And the peak pose today is Bird of Paradise, a balancing pose where we bind our arms behind our body but through our legs. So for that, a yoga belt would be really helpful. If you don't have a yoga belt, don't worry, you can use a towel or an old t-shirt or the belt from a bathrobe, for example. Anything like that would be perfect. Also at the beginning of the class I get hamstrings and quads mixed up a little bit, so apologies for that. And yeah, enjoy. Get going. Alright, we're going to start seated, cross-legged, or just comfortably seated, however's most comfortable for you. If you like sitting, kneeling, you can do that as well. But I find that cuts off the blood to my calves after a little while. So just sit comfortably, hands on your knees with the palms facing up, rolling shoulders up and back and down, closing our eyes and starting to breathe in and out through the nose. And arriving on your mat, leaving everything that happened before, today, before, now, behind. Leaving everything that is to come. Also, not thinking about the past or the future. Just being present here. If you want to set a little intention for your practice today, you can do so now. Just something small, positive, for yourselves or maybe for others. Could be something like kindness, love and positivity, or whatever feels good to you. I'm just sitting here for a moment. As we breathe, we want to utilize our whole lung capacity. So you want to breathe into your abdomen, your your ribs and your collarbones, your upper chest. If you want to, you can place your hands on your abdomen to get a bit of that biofeedback as you breathe into your abdomen, feel your tummy expand, move out, press into your hands. And as you exhale, your tummy moves in like a balloon that's deflated. Inhale, your tummy expands, maybe your fingertips are moving away from each other. Exhale, your tummy moves in, your fingertips come back together, maybe touching. Inhale, your abdomen expands. Exhale, it moves in. Now breathing into our ribs. For that you can place your hands against your ribs, the heels of your hands against the ribs, the fingers pointing inwards. And as you inhale, feel your ribs move sideways, pressing into your palms. Exhale, hands move together, moving away, the ribs moving away from them. Inhale, your ribs move apart, you grow wide, your chest grows wide. Exhale, chest moves together, ribs move together. Inhaling here once more, feeling the pressure of the ribs against the hands. Exhale, hands moving in. Now breathing into your upper chest, you can place your fingertips on your collarbones. As you inhale, feeling your chest rise, your shoulder rise with it. Exhale, feeling your chest lower. Inhale. Exhale, chest lowering. Inhale, chest moving up. Exhale, chest moving down. Now we're going to try and do all of those 3 stages in one. You can leave your hands either on your knees or wherever on your torso where you found it the most difficult to feel the breath, so maybe your collarbones, your ribs, or your abdomen, depending on you. We're going to breathe first, inhale into the abdomen, feeling it expand, then into the ribs, feeling the ribs move apart, and lastly into the upper chest, feeling the chest move up. And on the exhale, the upper chest moves down, ribs move together, abdomen moves in. And again, inhale, abdomen, ribs, collarbones, and collarbones drop, ribs move together, abdomen moves in. Inhale, abdomen moves out, ribs go wide, collarbones move up. Exhale, collarbones, ribs, and abdomen deflate. Taking a few more breaths, using that full lung capacity here. By breathing into our full lungs like that, we're getting more oxygen into our body, which is really important as we start moving. And that will make some poses more easy to get through. Whenever you're in a really tough pose, try not to hold your breath, but try to breathe through the pose, through the discomfort. Next out breath, we're going to blink our eyes open. And we're going to move our arms with our breath now. So with the inhale, we're opening our arms wide. With the exhale, we're curving our back, bringing our fingertips together in front of us. Inhale, coming up, you can bring your arms into cactus arms if you want as well. Exhale, rounding your back, maybe tucking your chin to your chest. Inhale, opening up, feeling your shoulder blades move together. Exhale, rounding your back. Inhale, shoulder blades together, feeling your shoulders engage, your shoulder muscles engage. Exhale, your shoulder blades are moving apart as we round our spine. And coming back to center. It was like a little bit of a seated cat-cow there. And we're going to place our left hand next to our glutes. And we're going to raise our right hand up on the inhale, coming over. Staying here for a moment. Exhale, coming up. Inhale, stretching over, other side. Inhale, coming up, moving through center. Exhale, stretching over. Really nice. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, stretching over. Always trying to leave our sit bones on the ground. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, stretching over and staying here for a moment. Breathing, feeling how we stretch more on the inhale, and that stretch in the right side body intensifies. Exhale, now we're melting a bit more into the stretch. Inhale, exhale, and bringing our right hand now down next to the left hand, having a bit more of an intense stretch here for 2 breaths. Looking down on the ground. Still trying to keep both sit bones to the ground. If that means we have to walk our hands in a little bit, that's perfectly fine. And on next inhale, raising our arm up again, our right arm, and coming up through center. Exhale, right hand down, left hand stretching over, and stretching. Staying here for a few breaths. Always keeping our sit bones on the ground. If that means that we can't get our elbow down, that's perfectly fine. Just staying wherever we can. Again, feeling the stretch on the inhale, intensify. And on the exhale, melting deeper into the pose. Maybe walking our hand a bit away from us. And on the next inhale, placing the left hand now next to the right hand again. Both sit bones on the ground, so maybe walking the hands in, looking on the ground. And on the next inhale, raising that left hand up again and coming into center. Going to do a little seated twist. So we're going to place our right hand on our left knee, our left hand just behind our glutes, and like sort of a 10th finger kind of thing. And inhale, exhale, we're twisting over. On the inhale, we're coming through, we're switching over, left hand, right knee, right hand behind us, stretching up, exhale, twisting over, looking over our shoulder. Inhale, switching over, exhale, twisting over our left again. Inhale, switching over, exhale, twisting over our right. Inhale, other side again, and we're staying here for a moment. We're going to set us up properly. So again, so hand in our little 10 fingers behind us. Inhale, really stretching up, straightening our spine. Exhale, we're twisting, and we're twisting from our hip and our shoulder, not from the neck. Don't yank your neck back. Inhale, exhale, twisting a bit more maybe. If you want, you can bring the back of your right hand against the outside of your left knee. Lever that to intensify that stretch if that feels good. One more breath. Inhale, exhale. On the next inhale, we're going to come through center, other side, same thing. So left hand, right knee, right hand in a little tent behind us. Inhale, we stretch up, straightening our spine. Exhale, we're twisting from our hip and our shoulder. Our neck just follows. Inhale, we stretch up. Exhale, we might twist a little more. Maybe bringing the back of that left hand against the outside of that right knee. Levering a bit more. One more inhale. Exhale, twist. And on the next inhale, releasing that twist, coming through center. We're going to walk our hands forward now. And coming into a really gentle forward fold. You can just be up here. You don't need to bring your elbows down to the ground if that doesn't feel good. Don't force your forehead onto the mat. We're just gently staying here for 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Lengthening with that inhale, lowering down with that exhale. Inhale, exhale. And on the next inhale, we're going to walk our hands in slowly, coming back here. We're going to come onto the tabletop. So for that, we're going to place our knees under our shoulders, hip width apart. Our hands are under our knees are under our hips, obviously, not under our shoulders. Our hands under our shoulders, wrists, elbows, and shoulders in line. And we're going to do a little wrist warm up here, as we always do. So we're just going to rock forward and back here. Forward and back, rock as much or as little as you want. If you want, you can push into a child's pose and then come up, come almost into like a little up dog. Push back, whatever feels good on your wrists, gently warming them up. And coming back to center, we're going to do the next one along. So we're going to turn our palms in, so that our hands in, so that our fingertips are not pointing towards our knees. Our thumbs are pointing towards the edge of our mat. Just going to rock back and forth slightly. If you need to bring your knees in a little bit because it's very intense, please do. Just rocking here a couple of times, spreading your fingers as wide as you can, like a starfish, pressing through your fingertips, the whole palm, the heel of the hand. And maybe 2 more rocks. And coming into stillness, turning our hands around again. And now we're going to do one hand at a time. We're going to place the back of our hand down. Our fingertips are pointing to our knee again. And the palm of our hand is facing us. We're going to again really broadly spread our fingers. I'm going to rock here very gently, stretching that front of our lower arm, counter stretching what we've just done, really gentle here, not injuring ourselves, just creating more mobility. And maybe 1 more rock, and placing that hand down, turning back, and doing the same thing on the other hand. So flipping that around, palm facing us, fingers pointing to knees, fingers nice and wide, and rocking here. These are quite nice wrist stretches that you could do whenever you're working at home and you need a bit of relief. Maybe you don't have a computer mouse with your laptop, your wrist can take a bit of a beating. And one more rock, coming back to center. I'm going to just quickly sit on our heels and just shake our hands, maybe turn them, make a fist, turn them the other way. And we're just going to spread our fingers, make a fist, spread our fingers, make a fist, spread our fingers, make a fist. Well done. That's our wrist stance. We're coming back into our tabletop. Now for cat cow. Fingers are nice and wide. Again, wrists, elbows, shoulders in line, hands shoulder width apart, knees hip width apart under hips. And on the inhale, we're arching our spine, our shoulder blades move together, and we're looking up into the top corner of the room where the wall meets the ceiling. Exhale, we're rounding our spine, pressing the ground away, shoulder blades apart, chin to chest, looking to our belly button. Inhale, arching the spine, shoulder blades together. I quite like to bend my elbows here a tiny bit, looking to the top corner of the room. Exhale, pushing the ground away, shoulder blades apart, tucking the pelvis a little bit, chin to chest. Inhale, arching the spine as if you've got a baby elephant sitting on your lower back, really extreme, exaggerating that movement. Exhale, pushing the shoulder blades apart. There is a hook in the middle of your back and someone's pulling you up by that hook. Inhale, arching, look into the corner of the room. Exhale, rounding the spine. One more each. Inhale, arching, feeling a stretch in our throat. Exhale, rounding the spine, feeling the stretch in the back of our neck. And coming back to center. Going to inhale and raise our right arm to the ceiling, opening our body to the right side of the room. And exhale, we're going to thread that right arm through the left, placing our cheek down. If you want, you can stretch your left hand out and feel the stretch in both shoulders here. Staying here for a moment. We're going to bring that left hand again in front of our face, pressing into the left hand, coming up, raising that right arm up again, and exhale, placing it down. Same thing on the other side. So inhale, raise your left arm up to the ceiling, opening your chest to the left side of the room. Exhale, coming through, placing your cheek down. If you want, stretching that right arm out in front of you, pressing into that hand. And staying here for a moment. Bringing our right hand in front of our face again and pushing into it. Inhale, exhale, opening our chest, and inhale, placing our hands down. Back in our tabletop, we're going to tuck our toes, placing them down. We're going to lift our knees and coming to a really gentle down dog. It's the first down dog of today, I assume, unless you've done yoga before this morning. We're just going to walk our heels. You can do that as fast or as slow as is comfortable for you. I like to do it a bit slower and hold at once the heel is down, to really feel that stretch in the calf, in the back of the knee. And then switch over, feeling if there's any difference between both sides. Is one side a bit tighter than the other? No judgment, just noticing. And coming to stillness. I'm going to set this first down dog up really intentionally, and then whenever we are in down dog, we're going to remember how we set it up. So our hands are shoulder width apart, our fingers are really nice and wide, like a starfish or a fan, whatever you want to call it. You're pressing not just into the heel of your hand, but through the whole palm. So the heel of the hand
where the knuckles and the fingers meet. Also the knuckles of the fingers, really pressing through the whole hand. That way the weight isn't just in the wrist, and you're protecting your wrists. Your arms are making a capital U or horseshoe shape. So you're pushing your shoulders away from the ears and your shoulder blades apart. Your back is nice and flat. If that means that you need to bend your knees, that's no problem at all. I tend to need to bend my knees at the beginning of every yoga class. It gets better as you get warmer. Your feet are hip width apart. Your toes are pointing forward. Your heels and your toes are in one straight line. The feet are parallel to the sides of your mat. You don't want to have the heels together or out. And your aim is to at some point get your heels on the mat, but that really isn't the main point of a down dog pose. If you can't do that, that's fine. Staying here for one breath to really notice how we set ourselves up, and remember that for the further progression of the class. I'm going to slowly, little baby steps, walk our feet forward. Leave our feet hip width apart, behind our hands, and just hang here with bent knees, feeling stretch in our hamstrings. Just hanging there, in our lower glutes maybe as well. And maybe swaying from side to side if that feels good. Drawing your fingers over the mat. Imagining you're drawing a big rainbow with your fingertips. And coming to center and stillness. Bending our knees a bit more, tucking our chin to our chest, and we're going to slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll up. Imagine it's a competition, and whoever is up last wins. And the last thing that comes up, as you're coming up slowly, your knees are slowly starting to straighten, but your chin is coming off your chest last. Really nice, everyone. Just moving that around. Cool. All right. Okay, we're going to come to the front of our mat. I'm just going to close the blind. We're going to stand in Tadasana. For Tadasana, we're bringing our feet together, toes touching. If you prefer to stand with your feet hip width apart, that's fine. But sort of traditional yoga would be feet together, toes touch. But it depends on how you're comfortable. We're going to raise all our toes off the mat, and then we're going to slowly lower them one toe at a time, starting with the little toe, fourth toe, middle toe, second toe, and then the big toe. So you can see space. Like see the mat through the space between your toes. I like to lift my heels here at one point just a tiny bit and place them down. So I've got a really nice firm grounding of the feet. I'm going to roll the shoulders up, back and down. Palms are by the side of the body facing forward. We're going to tuck our perineum or pelvic floor is engaged. Our Mula Bandha, we're going to engage our abdomen or our Uddiyana Bandha. And tucking our chin a tiny bit so we've got a nice straight line in the back of the neck. This is mountain pose, Tadasana, and we're standing proud and solid like a mountain. One breath here. And today, this class is focused on, we're going to do our Bird of Paradise again. And for me, with Bird of Paradise, a lot of it is, obviously there's balance involved, but a lot of it is about hamstring and quad flexibility as well as shoulders. So we're going to be doing moon salutations today instead of the classic sun salutations. In moon salutations, as we come up, we go into a back bend. Go as gentle as you need to go. You don't want to hurt your lower back. And in this, it's particularly important to engage our abdomen and our perineum or pelvic floor because we need that solid engagement here in order to protect our back. But if you don't fancy doing that at all today, don't worry. But just be mindful of that, don't hurt yourself. I'm going to stand here. Inhale, bringing our arms up, overhead into prayer. Exhale, pulling your hands down again. into heart center and prayer. And now inhale, we're coming up, we're doing this like sort of shadow puppet with our fingers. So we're crossing the thumbs and the fingers are wide. Inhale, we're going into a little back bend here, looking over us. Exhale, we're folding down, flat back. Here again, engaging the abdomen and everything. Going to come into a full forward fold, bending the knees if you have to. Forehead to shins. Inhale, half forward fold, palms against shins, nice flat back here, engaging the abdomen. It's like you're an L shape. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the right foot, dropping it down, untucking the toes, coming up into this low lunge, rolling the shoulders back, opening our chest. We're going a bit slower here on the way on the first one so we know what we're doing. Shoulders back and down, looking up to the ceiling, and we're pressing the back of the right foot really down into the mat firmly and feeling a stretch in our right hip flexor here. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale, inhale and exhale, hands down, tucking the right foot, lifting the right knee and stepping back into a nice firm plank. The arm shape in plank is really the same as in down dog, so our fingers are nice and wide, pressing through the whole palm, shoulder blades are away from each other, and we've got that capital U shape here. Now we're going to lower our knees, followed by chest and chin, so our bottom is sticking up into the air, and inhale, we're coming forward into this gentle cobra, untucking our toes, shoulders down, back, elbows really nice and tight into the body, and tucking the toes on the exhale, pushing back into our down dog, not staying in down dog today. On the inhale, stepping our right foot in between our hands again, and coming up into a high lunge this time. And here we're going to have temple mudra, which is like a James Bond little pistol, pow pow. We're going to bring our arms over our head. We're going to try straight arms, trying to keep our shoulders down as much as we can, and hug, press our upper arms, the inside of our upper arms against our ears. Pushing the heel of the left foot back, bending the right knee, and staying here, feeling that stretch, feeling maybe a little bit of a shake in our legs. Inhale, exhale, inhale on the next exhale, lowering our hands down, stepping the left foot forward, inhale coming into a half forward fold, exhale coming down into a full forward fold, again if you need to bending the knees, and inhale, flat back, engaging the abdomen, coming up, hands in prayer overhead, exhale, hands into heart center. Be nice everyone, same thing again. So inhale, we have our shadow bird thing and going into our back bend. Exhale, coming down, hands by the side of the feet, full forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands against shins, half forward fold, looking straight down. Hands down, stepping back with the left foot, lowering the knee, untucking the toes off the left foot, and coming up, palms facing forward, shoulders back, down, looking up. Again, really pressing the top of that back foot into the mat to intensify the stretch here. Staying here for one more breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and the next exhale, hands down either side of the front foot, tucking the left toes, lifting the knee, stepping back into our plank. Staying for 1 second. Next, lowering knees, chest and chin, coming into our 8-point pose, Ashtanga. Inhale, sliding forward into our cobra, untucking the toes, shoulders back and down, looking forward. Exhale, tucking the toes, pressing into down dog, and straight away with the next inhale, stepping forward, left foot in between the hands, and coming up into a high lunge. Again with a little temple mudra, James Bond pistol. The index fingers pulling towards the ceiling, shoulders pulling down, inside of the arms, pressing against our ears, pushing the right heel back, sort of increasing the bend in that front knee, feeling the muscles working, stretch in our hands, in our hips. Staying one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, hands down. Stepping right foot forward. Inhale. Hands to shins, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. Hands by the side of the feet. Forehead towards your shins. And inhale, engaging your abs. Coming up, flat back. Inhale, hands into heart center. Really nice. We're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to keep adding to our moon salutation. So we keep stretching our hips and everything throughout. So going to do one more like that, but a little bit faster. So inhale, bringing make your shadow puppet shape, bending backwards. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, hands down, stepping back with the right foot, lowering the knee, untucking the toes, lifting up, shoulder, arms by the side of the body. Inhale, exhale, hands down, tucking the toes, lifting the knee, back into plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin down. Inhale, sliding forward, shoulders back. Exhale, coming into our down dog. Inhale, right foot forward, coming up, temple mudra. And exhale, hands down, coming forward. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins. Exhale, full forward fold. And inhale, flat back, tummy engaged, coming up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Very nice. And one more time. Inhale, coming up, coming into our back bend if comfortable. Maybe going a bit deeper. Exhale, coming down, full forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins. Exhale, hands down, stepping up with the left foot, lowering the knee, untucking the toes, rolling the shoulders up, down, back, palms facing forward. Inhale, exhale, hands down, lifting the knee, stepping back into our plank, lowering the knees, chest and chin. Inhale, sliding forward into our cobra. Exhale, pressing back into our down dog. Inhale, left foot forward in between the hands. Inhale, hands up, temple mudra. Inner arms pressing against ears. Exhale, hands down, feet together. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. And inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Nice, everyone, that was quite fast. We are going to add to this, but we're going to, the beginning will be exactly the same. So inhale, arms up, fingers together, coming into our back bend if you want. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, half forward fold. We're quite warm now, so if you want to leave your fingertips on the mat, keeping your legs nice and straight, that's fine. Hands down, exhale, stepping your right foot back, lowering the knee, and tucking the toes. Coming into this hamstring stretch, pressing into the top, pressing the top of that right foot down. Exhale, hands down, tucking the toes, lifting the knee into plank. If you want to intensify this, you could come down in Chaturanga, where you just rock forward on your tiptoes a tiny bit, and then bend your knees like a triceps push-up, and coming down here. Otherwise, we just stick with our knees, chest, chin. Then inhale, pushing into our cobra, or if you do Chaturanga, upward dog, where only the hands and the tops of the feet are in the mat. And exhale, pressing down. We're lifting our right leg up now, and exhale, we're stepping our right foot in between our hands. We're placing our left foot, the sole of the left foot down, and inhale, cartwheeling up, left arm coming into a warrior two. Really nice, everyone. In warrior two, you want to make sure that your knee is above the ankle. Your knee's not falling in, but you're pushing it out. Your chest is in line with the long edge of your mat, so you're really flat, and you're looking towards your front middle fingers. Just going to stay here for a moment. Really Focusing on those middle fingers, building our focus, our concentration, a couple of breaths at a time. Feeling that stretch on the inner thigh of the right thigh here. And on the next inhale, we're going to lower our arms. We can straighten that front knee. Raise our arms again. And as if someone's pulling us by the fingers of that front hand until we can't go any further. And then we're coming down into a quite wide-legged Trikonasana, triangle pose. Here, our arms are stacked on top of each other. Our body is quite flat, as if you're caught between two panes of glass. Again, feeling that stretch on the inner thigh of the right leg really intensely here. That will help us with our bird of paradise later. Looking towards the top hand, thumb of the top hand. If that's uncomfortable for your neck, you can just look down to the right foot. And on the next inhale, we're going to come up with the arms, bending that front knee again. 1 second in our warrior two. And on the exhale, cartwheeling our hands down, either side of the front foot, stepping back, coming down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, whatever you want to do. Inhale, sliding into our cobra. Exhale, tucking the toes, pushing back into our down dog. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side straight away. So inhale, raising our left leg now, and exhale, stepping the left foot between the hands, lowering the right sole of the right foot down, and inhale, bringing our right arm up, cartwheeling up, and coming up here. I'm just going to turn around so I can see you. And again, setting us up very intentionally, so our left knee is now bent over, knee directly over ankle. We can see our front big toe, and that means pushing our knee out a little bit. Arms are at shoulder level, we're nice and flat, chest in line with the long edge of the mat, looking towards the front middle fingers. Staying here, the shoulders are down, but engaged, and also the back foot, the back knee is nice and engaged, the whole leg is straight, everything is doing yoga. Our eyes are doing yoga by looking at our fingers, toes are doing yoga, pressing into the little toe side of both feet, grounding our feet properly. Inhale, we're going to straighten that left leg, and inhale, and then just as if someone's pulling us by that left hand, and we can't go any further, that's when we're coming down. Leaving a hand wherever, you can rest it on your shin. If your fingertips come to the ground, place them on the inside of the calf, stacking our shoulders on top of each other. Again, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, looking to the top hand, and staying here, feeling that stretch in the inner thigh of the left side now. Also feeling a stretch in our right side body, our right obliques. On the next inhale, we're going to look to our foot and coming up. Exhale, bending the knee, and we're going to come down with placing our hands down, stepping back with the left foot, coming down either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, sliding forward into cobra or up dog. Exhale, pushing back into down dog, and we're going to now step forward with the right foot in between the hands. We're going to finish our moon salutation that we started this with, bringing our arms up overhead, temple mudra, that James Bond pistol, arms touching, inner arms touching the ears. Staying for one breath. Exhale, hands down, stepping forward with the left foot. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins or fingertips to mat. And exhale, folding down, full forward fold. Inhale, engaging the abs, coming up with a flat back. Hands in heart center. Really nice, everyone. we're going to keep going. So we're going to inhale, come into a little back bend if you want. Exhale, folding down, hands by the feet, full forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, hands down, stepping back the left foot this time. Lowering the knee, untacking the toes. Coming up, palms facing forward. Pressing the top of the left foot down. Feeling the stretch in our hip flexors. Exhale, hands down by the side of the front foot. Lifting tucking the back toes, lifting the knees, stepping back into our plank, coming down knees, chest and chin or chaturanga. Inhale, coming into our little cobra or up dog. And exhale, pressing down. Inhale, going to raise our right leg up to the ceiling. And exhale, stepping forward, placing the sole of the left foot down again. Inhale, coming up with the left arm leading into our warrior two again. Really nice. Stay here for a few breaths. Setting us up again, remembering we want to see our big toe, not have our knee fall in, nice and flat. Looking towards the front fingers. And now we're going to shift. We want to have our hips face forward. If that means that you have to roll onto the back, on the ball of the back foot, that's fine. Ideally, if you want to step in a little bit, we want to keep both soles of feet down for our warrior one. So your hips, imagine you've got laser pointers or headlights on both hip bones and you want them to point as much forward as you can. Might mean that you can't bend your front knee as much. Arms about, again, up, and you can have your inside of your upper arms press against your ears. Staying here or looking, if you want, you can look up to your thumbs as well. That challenges your balance a little bit. Here it's really important to press into that back foot. If you really press into the back foot, that helps you get your hips square to the front. I'm going to bring our hands down into heart center. We're now going to we're going to stretch our right arm out and touch our left shoulder blade. Going to bring our left arm around. Going to come into eagle arms. If you have to stay here for eagle arms, that's fine. So the outside of your lower arms is touching. If you can go deeper, you can then cross your palms over and have both your palms touch as well. Going to reach up and push our elbows forward. And then on the exhale, we're going to fold down and come into this humble warrior with eagle arms. You're aiming, maybe your hands, to at some point get to the ground, but that's not important at all. Just by doing this, we're stretching our hands, our quads, and we're also stretching our shoulders out at the same time. Breathing here. Our right shoulder is touching the inside of our right knee. And on the next inhale, I'm going to come up, going to release our arms, going to come back into our warrior two for one breath. And exhale, cartwheeling our hands down, framing the front foot, stepping back into our plank. And exhale, lowering down, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. And inhale, sliding forward, cobra or upward facing dog, or Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, pressing into our down dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Now we're going to raise our left leg up. We're going to do the same thing on the inside. So stepping the left foot in between our hands, flip around again. And coming up, placing the soles of the right foot down, coming up into our warrior two. Staying here for a few breaths, setting us up again, so making sure we can see our front big toe, body flat, looking towards those front middle finger. Staying here with just 2 breaths. Feeling the stretch, really engaging. As I said, everything's doing yoga. The little toe, everything. And now we're going to square our hips to the front of the mat. Maybe bringing that back foot in a little bit. Pressing into the little toe side of that back foot. That will really help squaring your shoulders, your hips here. We're going to raise our arms up. Arms maybe touching the ears again. Or if you want, looking towards the top, towards the thumbs of the hands. Bending that front knee, pushing into the back foot. Trying to square your hips more. Staying here. It's very intense. Warrior 1 is a lot more work somehow for the body than Warrior 2. We're going to bring our hands into heart center. Very good job, everyone. We're going to touch our right shoulder blade with the left hand. Cross over arms. Neither have the backs of our lower arms touch or cross over and have the palms touch here. Going to inhale and exhale. We're folding down into our humble warrior. So our left shoulder is brushing the inside of our left knee. You stay here. Again, working those quads as well as stretching the shoulders. Breathing through, in and out through the nose. These are really challenging poses right now. So by breathing, you make them a lot more bearable. Inhale, we're going to come up. To release that interlace of the arms, stretching them out and coming into a warrior 2 for 1 moment. And exhale, placing our hands down either side of the front foot, stepping back into our plank, coming down at the knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, sliding forward in our cobra, and then coming back into our down dog. We're going to continue here with our moon salutation, so stepping the left foot forward in between our hands. Inhale, coming up with the arms, and temple mudra, that James Bond pistol, in our upper arms against the ears. Inhale, exhale, hands down, stepping forward with the right foot. Inhale, hands to shins, fingertips to mat. Exhale, full forward fold, and inhale, coming up, flat back. And hands into heart center. Let's stand in Halasana for a moment. Whew. Quite an exhausting sequence there. Well done, everyone. I'm going to slow it down a little bit now. One more breath here. With the next inhale, raising our arms again, coming into that bird shadow puppet if you want, coming into another back bend if it feels good. Exhale, hands down, by the side of the feet, full forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, hands down, we're stepping back with the right foot, lowering the knee, untucking the toes, and coming up and staying here for a moment. Again, pressing the top of the right foot down, feeling that stretch here. And now we're going to see if we can bring our right foot up and grab it. We want to be, we're stretching our quads here. And you want to be on the meaty part just above your knee. That makes it a lot more comfortable. Just going to stay here for a few breaths. Feeling that stretch in the front of the leg. Inhale, standing and coming up tall with the chest. I'll intensify the stretch a bit more. Maybe have a look. Make sure that your right shoulder is not sneaking forward. You want your shoulders, your chest flat. I'm going to lower that back foot, release the grip, And now we're going to come onto the heel of that front foot. Keep the right toes tucked. I'm going to stretch the inside, the back of the leg here, of the left leg now. Stay here for a few seconds. Really nice. And coming back forward, we're going to do one more of each. So we're going to bring that back foot, the right foot up again. See if we can grab it. If not, you can just stay up here. That's fine as well. If you want to grab it, grab it. Come up nice and tall in the chest. Feeling that stretch. Goes from the hip, through the leg, maybe even to the knee. Really good stretches for runners. And lowering that back foot, releasing the grip first, tucking the right toes, coming into that stretch of the back of the leg. Again, being as tall, coming as low as is comfortable for you. And coming back forward, just placing the hands either side of that front foot, lifting the back knee, stepping back into our plank and coming down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga if you wish. Inhale, sliding forward into our cobra. Exhale, pressing back into a down dog. And we're going to step our right foot forward. And instead of that tempo mudra one, we're going to bring our right hand now on the inside of the right foot, walking the foot to the edge, out the edge of the mat. I'm going to lower our knee and come into a lizard pose here. So you can either stay on your hands or you can come down on your left elbow. And if it's feasible, you could come down onto the arms, the lower arms of the right leg. What we want to make sure is we want to try and keep our knee, our right knee, as straight as we can. There will be a temptation to have the knee fall out, which is fine, but try and bring that knee back in line because that intensifies the hip stretch on that right side. Breathing here. We're going to tuck the back toes and we're going to see if we can lift our knee whilst we're staying in this lizard. This intensifies the stretch even more. If you don't want to do that or it's not comfortable, just lower your knee and stay how you were. Stay for another 2 breaths. We're lowering the knee, untucking the toes, and we're coming back onto our hands. Walking our right foot again in between our hands, tucking the toes, and we're going to come into a pigeon. So we're sliding our right foot behind our left wrist, lowering our right knee behind the right wrist, lowering the back knee, untucking the toes. And we're just going to stay here for a moment. I quite like to just rest my right hand on my thigh, my left hand on the foot. I don't know if anyone else thinks that does anything. I feel like just that extra weight of my body pressing into my legs gives me a bit more stretch. If you want, and you want to intensify the stretch, you can just tuck the back toe and walk it back a little bit. The more parallel your shin of the right shin, the front leg, is to the front of the mat, the more intense the stretch is. If you want to take some of the intensity out, just bring the heel in a little bit, and that will make it a lot less painful in the glutes. Stay here for another breath. And now we're going to come on to, if it's comfortable, otherwise just stay here. And if you want, intensify the stretch a bit more by coming on to lower arms, onto our elbows. And if you want to come a little bit further, you can just stretch your arms out in front of you or make a pillow with your hands and just place your head down. And stay here for a few breaths. Keep breathing. should be quite intense. I don't think I know anyone who doesn't find pigeon uncomfortable, but it's a good uncomfortable. It's stretching our glutes, stretching our thighs, preparing us for the pose in a moment. Okay, next inhale, we're going to look up. If we place our forehead down, we're going to, if our arms are outside, to walk them in, back under our shoulders. We're going to tuck the back foot, we're going to lift our knees, step back into a down dog. We're just going to walk the dog here for a moment, walk that down dog out a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, raising that left leg up. In, exhale, inhale, stepping forward and stepping the foot directly outside the left foot outside the left hand to come to prepare for our lizard pose here. Stay here. The right foot is untucked, knees down, and we stay here for a moment. And then, if you want, if you have it available, come onto the elbow onto the lower arm of the right. And if you want to go further, you can place the left lower arm down as well, trying to keep our knee nice and straight, but still knee over ankle. We don't want to have the knee going forward. That's not very safe for our knee. Staying here for a few breaths. And if you want, you can now tuck your toes on the right foot and lifting that right knee off the ground and staying here in a pigeon with a lifted knee, and not pigeon, in a lizard with a lifted knee for a moment. Feeling the stretch here in both hips, both hip flexors. One more breath. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, lowering the knee, untucking the toes, bring our hands under our shoulders, coming up. Now we're going to tuck the right toes, lift the knee off, placing hands down. We're going to come into a pigeon on the left. So the left foot is behind the right hand and the left knee is behind the left hand. We're going to lower that down, lowering the right knee, and if you want, keeping the foot tucked, walking back a little bit, then untucking the toe as soon as the stretch is intense enough. If you want, bring your right hand onto the sole, onto your foot, left hand onto the thigh, sort of middle thigh, and stay here for a second. Well, I quite like to do this with the hand on the thigh and the foot, so I feel that helps me align myself in this pose better. So we want to have our hips and our shoulders square. Imagine you've got a piece of paper on your chest and you don't want it to move. You want it to be really nice and flat. Now we're going to place our hands down in front of us, under our shoulders. Either stay here if this is already intense enough a stretch, or coming down onto our elbows, onto our lower arms. Or if you want to go further, making a pillow with our hands lying down or stretching the arms out in front of us. And breathing here, really, as soon as you come into this pose, have a nice deep inhale. And exhale. You can sigh on the exhale if that feels good, releasing some of the strain. But keep breathing, staying connected to the breath. We're going to walk our hands under our shoulders and come up. And to tuck the back toes, lift the knee and press into a down dog and walk the dog here for a moment. We're going to now step our right foot in between our hands. We're going to lower our knee, left knee, untuck the toes, come into this little stretch that we have at the beginning of a moon salutation on the other side. We had it a moment ago on the right side, so now on the left. Just stay here for one breath. Hands down, either side of the front foot, tucking the toes, lifting the knees, stepping forward with the right foot. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. And inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Now we're going to get to our bird of paradise, for which I would suggest getting a belt, depending on how available the pose is for you. Just have that in the middle at the front of your mat so you have it nice and available. And we're going to just step back with at the front of our mat, toes together, shoulders rolled back. Just going to step back with the left foot, nice and wide stance. We're going to bend that front knee. We're going to come down in this extended side stretch. So your right hand is against the inside of the right foot. The left arm is either straight ahead, like straight up, or can be a little bit further up. So that you've got a nice like ski slope from your middle finger all the way to your little toe. And now we're going to bring that left hand down, and we're going to slide our elbow down. And I can show you for bird of paradise, if you want to use a belt, you take the belt or towel or whatever you have, and you just take it in your left hand and you fling it sort of around your back or your thigh, so that you have that sort of hanging down over your back, and you can reach it with your right hand through your legs. So we're holding it like around our back. And now we're going to go down, we're pulling our right arm through our legs. So our arm is threading around and going along our back. It's coming out the other side. We're still holding it, and we're trying to ideally hold hands. If you can't touch your hands, that's where the belt comes in. Think of it, you just extend, your arms might not be long enough. You're just extending your arms with the belt. If you don't need the belt, then use your arms. Ideally, hold your wrist with so the right hand grabs the left wrist. The right hand is the grabber. Reacher is grabber. And we're looking down, and we're now going to step our back foot forward, or walk it forward slowly, until it's almost like next to the right foot. And now you should already be coming onto the tiptoes of the right foot, maybe. And I'm just going to turn myself so you can see myself in the front. So it's a bit like this. And now, I'm on the back, my hand looks like this. My right hand is grabbing my left hand. And now we're going to try and come up, balancing on that left foot. Very slowly. Slowly tends to be a bit better for balance. We're trying to get straight. Really nice. And then stretching that left leg out. Amazing. And staying as long as you want. It's really good, guys. Really good trying. Awesome. All about trying, it's a journey. It's not really about getting the pose. And when you're done with your pose, just come down and try to step back into your extended side stretch, and inhale, coming up, coming to the front of the mat. I'm just standing here for a moment. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to turn around so you can see it a bit better. I'm going to stand up front of the mat again in our mountain pose. I'm going to step back with the right foot this time. Whoop! I'm really using my balance here, not a great sign. Bending the front knee, the left knee, placing the left hand on the inside of the left foot and coming into that extended side stretch. Staying here for a breath or two. Now grabbing our belt, if we need our belt, with our right hand, bring that around our back. Grabbing the belt with the left hand, through our leg and pulling our arm around, using, as I said, using that belt as an extension for our arms. And then coming down, either holding the belt, or if you don't need it, if you can reach your hands, or grab the wrist of the right hand with the left hand. Looking down at our left foot, we're now going to step the back foot, the right foot, forward. And again, as we step forward, we're going to come already onto the tiptoe of that left foot. And now slowly coming up on our right leg, our standing leg. Might come down again, might come up. Stay getting nice and tall, and then stretching that leg. That's amazing, Heike. And coming down, stepping back into that stretch, and coming up to the front of your mat. Whew. Really nice work, everyone. It's tough going, but we're done with the standing sequence now. Now we get to relax. A little bit more of a relaxing stretch. We're going to come down to our seated pose, and we're going to do that how we've done it the last couple of times, which is, we're just going to start to come down. I was going to lower with our body age test, but I think we've all had enough. We're going to sit with our legs out in front of us, hands by the side of our body. We're going to place maybe our hands in our little tents that we had in our warm-up. Press, roll shoulders back and down, press into our fingers, and inhale. Exhale, we're folding down from our hip, back stays nice and straight, and we're holding wherever we can hold. So if that is your calves, perfect. If that's your ankles, great. If that's your thumb, if you can get your thumbs to your feet or your hands around your feet, do that. And we're going to inhale again, opening the chest, keeping the chest nice and open, and exhale, pulling ourselves down a little bit. Feeling that stretch in the thighs. We want to keep our back nice and straight, our neck nice and straight, and our chest nice and open. On the next inhale, we're going to look up and we're going to slowly walk our hands in, bringing our knees up, folding them to the side, and sitting in our cobra pose. You have your feet as far away or as close to your perineum as you want. We'll just start off maybe with a little bit of a butterfly movement here, wiggling our knees, a bit of a dynamic stretch. Then coming to stillness, we're going to have our hands around our feet, the thumbs are on the soles of the feet, and we're opening our feet like the pages of a book. You can just stay here, or if you want, you could pull on your feet and pull yourself down. And if you pull yourself down, you can use your elbows to press into your thighs and maybe opening your knees a little bit more. Just stay here for a few breaths. And on the next inhale, we're going to come up, going to stretch our left leg out in front of us. We keep our right leg where it is. Bring the right sole of the foot against the inner thigh of the left foot. We're going to do a Shavasana stretch. A little bit from the side so you can see it better. Shavasana, head to knee. That's just what it's called. There's no need to get it there. We're going to place our hands again in our tents by the side of our hips, and we want to do a little micro stretch, twist. So by twisting, we're twisting our chest directly over that straight leg. Inhale, pressing into the hands, and exhale, folding down again, either holding the calf, the foot, the ankle, the foot. And inhale, stretching, opening our chest nice and open, and exhale, folding down here. And the drishti, we're looking towards our big toe. And staying here, feeling the stretch now in the back of the knee. Now we're going to bring our left arm to the inside of that left leg. I'm going to twist our chest open a little bit and imagine your left foot is flexed and imagine it's pushing against a wall and you want to touch that same wall with your right hand. So really reaching that arm over, you're stacking your shoulders on top of each other, opening your chest to the room and staying here, feeling that stretch in the leg. You can also stretch a twist in our left side body. This is twisted Janu Shirshasana, Pavrita Janu Shirshasana. We're lowering that right hand down again. We're going to slowly walk our hands up until we're up. Seated, we're going to bring that left foot in, come into our little cobbler pose one more time. Sitting here, maybe butterflying our knees again. Sitting just up tall, upright for 1 or 2 breaths. And we're now going to stretch that right leg out. Do the same thing on the other side. So bringing our the sole of the left foot against the inner thigh of the right. We're going to bring our hands by the side of our hips. Little micro twist over that straight leg, that right leg. And inhale, pressing into the hands. Exhale, folding down, holding out calf, ankle, foot. Inhale, opening our chest. And exhale, folding down, pulling a little bit, looking towards the toes of that foot. Slowing our breath, feeling our body slow down, cool down a little bit, but stretching here so that we don't get stiff or anything. Now we're going to bring the right lower arm on the inside of the right calf, placing it down. Again, imagining that the right foot is pressing against the wall and imagine that we're touching the same wall with our left fingers, stacking our shoulders on top of each other. If you want, looking towards the left hand, or if that's uncomfortable on the neck, just looking towards the right hand. Really twisting here, opening our body, our chest to the room. Breathing slowly in and out through the nose. And lowering that left hand down and walking our hands in. Bringing that right leg in again and fluttering our knees one more time, one last time. And bring our knees up. I'm going to lie down on our backs now for a bridge and if you want also a wheel. We've done quite a few back bends already by the start of our moon salutations where we went back and also the cobras or upward dogs, so our back should be nice and warm. So we're going to lie down on our back, our knees are pointing to the ceiling. We're bringing our feet as close as we can to our glutes. Feet are hip width apart, knees are hip width apart. Maybe see if you can stroke your heels with your fingers. That's a nice indication that your feet are as close as they are, maybe walking your shoulders in a little bit. We're going to start with one bridge, nice and gentle. So we're going to place our arms alongside our body, hands pressing into the ground. And on the inhale, we're going to tuck our pelvis and then lifting the hips, lower back, middle back, and upper back off the mat. And thinking here, hips up, but also chest to chin. So really curving through the whole spine. If you want, you can grab your hands under your back, maybe rolling onto the balls of the shoulders here, and staying here for 3 breaths. So inhaling, Seeing our tummy expand. Exhaling, seeing it drop. Can't really breathe too deeply here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Next inhale, if you have interlaced your hands, let go. And exhale, we're going to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time, starting with the upper back, middle back, lower back, and lastly, dropping the pelvis down. Really nice, everyone. So you can either do that again, nice and gentle, or if you want, you can try wheel or Chakrasana with me. For that, we're going to place our hands by the side of our ears. The fingers are pointing towards our shoulders. So our arms and our knees are kind of making the same shape. How I go into wheel is sort of 3-stage process. And we're first, if you want to have a look, we're first going to press into our hands, lifting our upper back off the mat and placing the crown of our head down. So we're curving from the top first. Next, we're lifting our hips off the ground, and then we're pressing through. And when you're coming down, you're tucking your chin to your chest, you're slowly lowering. You're tucking your chin to your chest first. You're making sure that your neck is nice and flat. So should you lose hold and fall down, you're falling on a nice, firm, flat neck, protecting your neck, protecting your spine. So if you want to give that a go with me, we're going to maybe have another check. Can we feel our heels? Oop, no, I can't anymore. So bring your heels in a little bit, placing your hands down, palm of the hands down, fingers pointing to our shoulders, arms and knees making the same shape now. And on the inhale, we're pressing into our hands, rolling coming onto the crown of our head. Exhale. Inhale, we're lifting our hips up. Now the only things that are touching the ground is the crown of the hands and feet. And on the next inhale, pressing into our hands and coming up here. And staying for 2-3 breaths, however long you want or can hold it. When you want to come out, tucking your chin to your chest and slowly lowering. Amazing work, everyone, very nice. Going to stretch our arms and our legs into the air, and we're just going to do circles with our hands and our feet, circling the other way. Going to make fists and circle one way and circle the other way. Going to hug our knees into our chest, rocking from side to side. And going to roll over to our right side with our knees. Going to place our arms at shoulder level, palms facing up, and we're looking towards the left hand, and maybe closing the eyes. If you want to intensify the stretch a little bit, you could cross your top leg around, so cross your left leg around your right. No need for that at all though. It's just we're slowing down. We're going to lift our knees again, coming through center and dropping them onto the other side on the left side. Arms again at shoulder level and looking to the right hand now. Again, if you want, crossing that right leg, the top leg around the bottom leg. If you want to intensify the stretch, but as I say, no need. Going to bring the knees back into center, give yourselves a hug. And if you're up for it today, maybe doing a shoulder stand. So just tucking my shirt in. So for shoulder stand, if you don't want to go into a full shoulder stand today, you can just have your legs up into the air, maybe placing your hands on the sacrum. This really nice, gentle shoulder stand. If you want to go into a full shoulder stand, going to, with a little bit of momentum, bring our knees, our legs straight, knees over our face, lifting our legs up and walking our hands as close as we can to our shoulder blades. Our legs are together. I always like to point my toes here. And imagine your legs are one piece, like a mermaid tail. They're together, they're engaged, they're really strong. And your focus point is your belly button, not looking to the toes. Your belly button is so interesting right now. The next inhale, we slowly lower our legs overhead and see if we can bring our toes down to the ground beyond our head. If you can, then you can let go of your back and hold your hands, straightening your legs, arms out. If your legs are slightly hovering over the ground, just leave your hands on your lower back. This is Halasana or plow pose. Staying wherever you are today. Doesn't matter if you could do something, if you were more flexible last week, yesterday, last year, just go with how it is today. Wherever we are, we're going to lift our feet a little bit off the ground now, placing our arms by the side of our body and slowly, controlled, rolling down from here, straight legs, leaving our head on the ground, using our abs to lower our legs with control. As a counter pose to Shavasana, we always have to do our fish pose, Matsyasana. So for that, we're going to roll onto our side, onto the side of our thigh, sliding our hand under where our glutes are, dropping down. So now our wrist is under our bottom. We're going to roll over onto the other side, placing the other hand next to that hand, palms down, coming down with the glutes onto both wrists. We're going to inhale, pressing into the elbows and coming up here. The weight is in the elbows and lowering the crown of the head down. The weight is mainly in the elbows. There's almost no weight in your head. And your toes are pointed. Going to stay here for a few breaths. This is stretching our neck, our throat in the opposite direction of what we just did. Next inhale, we're going to press into our elbows again, lifting up, slowly coming out of here. Releasing our hands, maybe moving our neck, our head from side to side. If you feel like you need any last minute stretches, you could maybe hug your knees into your body again, rocking from side to side, giving your lower back a bit of a massage. Maybe happy baby pose, grabbing your ankles or the outer edges of your feet and staying here, pulling your knees in. Maybe rocking here as well if that feels good, quite playful. Coming to center, stretching our legs out and coming to a well-deserved Shavasana. Shavasana is, if anything, the most important yoga pose, so we're setting it up like a yoga pose. Our feet are as wide as our hips or as the mat or somewhere in between. Feet flopping out. Our arms are by the side of the body, palms maybe about 3 inches, 15 centimeters away from the hips. Palms facing up. Our neck is tucked a tiny bit so that our chin is tucked a little bit so that our neck is nice and flat. Our eyes are closed. And we're going to breathe here. Letting go of everything, feeling that lovely yoga glow, that buzz that you get after a yoga practice. Feeling where your body is touching the ground, in your hips, your glutes pressing into the mat. A lot more soft and nimble, hopefully, than they were earlier.
Our thighs lying heavily on the ground. Our knees soft, not having to carry any weight. Our calves lovely and soft and smooth on the ground. Our heels lying there, not needing to hold our weight. Our feet soft. Our big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and little toes are soft. Feet are soft and relaxed. Your legs, your glutes are relaxed. Your lower back is hovering just a tiny bit over the ground. Probably quite nimble after those back bends now. Your abdomen moving up and down with every breath. Ribs moving slightly with every inhale and exhale, as well as your chest and your collarbones moving up and down like the waves on a calm mountain lake. Shoulders, your upper back pressing into the ground nice and smooth. Your upper arms and elbows on the ground, the lower arms, the back of the hand resting on the ground, your palms soft, the thumb, the index finger, the middle fingers, the ring fingers and the little fingers, all soft and relaxed. Your arms, your torso are relaxed. Your neck is soft and smooth, not having to hold the weight of our head so heavy. Back of the head heavily pressing into the ground. Top of the head smooth. Our forehead is smooth, no wrinkles. Not trying to understand anything, read anything, not annoyed, confused, just here, present. Our eyes are smooth, the muscles around the eyes not working, trying to see or decipher. Our jaw is soft, not holding any tension. Your tongue is just lying in the mouth, not glued to the top. Your teeth slightly parted. Your entire head is smooth, soft and relaxed. Your whole body is relaxed. Slowly bring your awareness back into the body. Maybe if you've set an intention earlier on, you can repeat it a little bit. Remind yourself. Have a deep inhale and exhale. Hugging your knees into your chest, rocking from side to side. Rolling onto your right hand side and pressing, lying your head on your upper arm, your right upper arm. Staying here for a second and pressing your left hand into the ground in front of your face and coming up slowly to seated position. Well done everyone, that was quite an intense class, I must say that myself. Sorry about that. If you have another 2 minutes for a little pranayama at the end of this session, then please stay, otherwise enjoy the day. For pranayama, I'd like to do Brahmari again. We've done that quite a few times. So Brahmari or Hummingbird Breath, for that we are closing our eyes with our index, middle and ring finger. We're going to close our ears, the little triangle here with our thumbs. And we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're making a humming sound. So we're going to do 5 rounds of that. So closing our ears now. Inhale, doesn't have to be a loud hum, and now. Last time. Place our hands down on our knees, maybe keeping the eyes closed for another moment. Feeling the effect of that little breathing exercise. Brahmari is quite a nice way if you want to sort of try meditation, but your mind keeps racing too much. Kind of a nice tool because your mind has got that sound that you're making to hold on to. Just doing 10 rounds of that if you want to give it a go. And opening our eyes, we're going to do inhale. We're going to make a big circle with our arms. Bring your hands into prayer overhead, maybe looking to the thumbs. Exhale, pulling our hands down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And bringing our thumbs to the space between our eyebrows, third eye, for clear and kind thoughts. Thumbs to our throat for clear and kind words. Thumbs to our heart center for clear and kind feelings. And we bow with the gratitude to the practice of yoga and to ourselves for moving today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it.